Hi, it's the middle of May and it's time to look at the books that I've read so far this month. And I've had pretty good time. Do you know, I am still searching for that one 5-star one to really blow me away. Right, so I started off with one that's reached the Yoto Carnegie shortlist, and it's Safiyyah's War by Hiba Noor. And this one is set in Paris in World War II under the occupation. And it's about something that I didn't know anything about how the Grand Mosque in Paris helped to save 1,700 Jews. I had no idea about that until I read this book. Sofia's a young Muslim. She lives with her parents and little sister and grandmother Seti, who is an absolutely wonderful character. And then when the Germans enter Paris, everything changes. And this is the story of Safiyyah and Safiyyah and her family and how they deal with the occupation and also get the Jews out. So that was a really good historical fiction type thing. Then I did something different. I read a memoir. And it's not often I do this, but this one leapt out at me. It's called The Giant on the Skyline by Clover Stroud. And it came out on the 9th of May this year. Excuse me. And it's set in Wiltshire, around the White Horse and Avebury, and places that I know because we've been there several times over the years. And what this is an exploration of the meaning of home, because Clover's husband works an awful lot of time in America, and so he says that maybe the family should move out to America. And it's her feelings about the idea of leaving her home, leaving Wiltshire, where her parents and her sister were buried, that connection with the land, leaving that. And I thought it was absolutely wonderful. There were wonderful, intimate family moments. There's also a sort of there's a giant man that appears. But the descriptions of the landscape, the community, her connection, it was just absolutely wonderful. Then I read another arc, and this one comes out on the 6th of June, and it's by Newman. And I read her novel We All Want Impossible Things last year, maybe? Well, it came out anyway. And I absolutely loved that one. So I was going to pick up another one by her, wasn't I? Rocky is in her 50s. She's in menopause, and she, with her husband Nick and kids Willa, Jamie and Jamie's partner Maya, they go to Cape Cod on holiday for their annual week's holiday. At some point during the week, her parents are going to join them for a couple of days. So she is sandwiched, between her elderly parents and her children. She also makes a lot of sandwiches during this holiday. She is inappropriate. She speaks without thinking. She is just a larger-than-life character. And it's a book about family secrets, about the ebb and flow of family life. And you feel for her. You feel her overwhelming love for her family, for her kids. And you feel that fear that she's got, that it could all disappear in a heartbeat. That was good. I didn't enjoy it as much as We All Want Impossible Things, but still a good read. Then another arc, and this comes out on the 13th of June, and it's Only Here, Only Now by Tom Newlands. I've got a frog in my throat this morning. I think it's a touch of hay fever. It's a debut novel. It's set in Scotland, and it gave me Shuggie Bain vibes. 14-year-old Cora, we're in the 1990s in Muir Cross, which is a fictional area of Fife, a rundown area of Fife. 14-year-old Cora lives with her mum, who's in a wheelchair, but it doesn't stop her mum having an active social life. So, Cora describes herself as fizzy. Nowadays, we'd say she'd be diagnosed with ADHD, but at that time, it was only just beginning to be recognised, and certainly the medication wasn't freely available as it is now. So she's always labelled as trouble. And we follow her. We follow her from 14 to 18 when she deals with grief, when she moves, first to Abbots Craig with her mum's partner Gunnar, then to Glasgow. And this is her life, this is her coping. There's characters in here that'll make you laugh and some that will make you cringe. And there's also those who care about her. She does try to be good, but of course this condition wasn't diagnosed then. So she's always just thought she was fizzy. Then I read another one, and this was from the Yoto Carnegie long list. This one didn't reach the short list, but I'm going to try and get through the long list. And it's Wild Song by Candy Gourlay. And it's a follow-up to her book Bone Talk. But I didn't realise that it was a follow-up to her book Bone Talk. And I certainly didn't feel that I needed the first one in the series to read this one. We're in 1904, and Lukey, she's a Bontoc, she's a member of the Bontoc tribe. But she is unconventional. Women in the tribe aren't supposed to hunt, but she does. She goes off hunting with her friend Samcad. And when they're hauled to the council of ancients for the umpteenth time, because she's, again, broken conventions, Samcad's idea is that, yeah, look, let's get married. Then if I'm your husband, you can do what you want. I'm not going to stop you. But so Lukey doesn't want to marry. So she joins Truman Hunt's expedition, his troop, to go to the World Fair, the 1904 World Fair in Los Angeles. He's taken a group of Igorots, which is the collective name for all these different indigenous tribes, to go to the World Fair. And she goes there expecting to see America and experience new things, but she finds that the Americans just want them to be the savages that they believe them to be. They're exploited. There's racism there. And through another character, Sadie, who works in the Wild West Fair, the Wild West show, you realise that white women in America at that time, there was just as much difficulty for them as there is for Lukey. It's about making compromises, that life is good and life is bad. She might be a fictional character, but Truman Hunt actually is a real-life character, because after the World Fair, he took his group of Igorots around America and continued exhibiting them and exploiting them. Then I read The Serpent Dance by Sophia Slater, and this is another arc. It comes out on the 13th of June. I was expecting or hoping for more gothic in this. From when I read the blurb, I was expecting a lot more dark gothic. Audrey, she's an illustrator. She's with Noor, who owns an art gallery, and they go for a weekend away to celebrate their 1-year anniversary. And she's hoping it's Paris, but he takes her to this Cornish little village for a midsummer festival. She expects that they've got a sort of Airbnb while they'll be together, but the house they go to is to be shared by the owner. They're not going to be alone. So she's very disappointed. And she gets the feeling that Noor knows the owner, that there's secrets there that she's not aware of. She's also afraid of the dark. That goes back to childhood. And the village is full of these weird hybrid creatures that have been made for the festival. and then there's a death, and it's a sort of like a locked room mystery. There's a bit of romance. The festival itself is creepy, but I went into this expecting dark gothic, and I didn't get it. It was an okay read, but maybe it's me. I went into it with the wrong expectations. And then I read another from the women's long list. This one didn't make the shortlist, and this was Nightbloom by Adzo, Medie. I was in two minds about this. The story was good. It's about two cousins, Akorfa and Selassie, who grow up together, who are sort of best friends, sisters, and then their relationship breaks apart. And you see Akorfa go to America and become something in international development, and Selassie stays in Ghana, and becomes a restaurant owner. But the two girls don't speak. But then when Selassie is threatened, then Akorfa comes back onto the scene, and the two girls reconnect, and they share a trauma that was unspoken about. And what got me was that it's in three parts. You have the first third is Akorfa, the second half is Selassie telling the same story but in her point of view, and then the third part is the conclusion. I would have rather, but this is me, I'd have rather sort of alternate chapters rather than a chunk. But that was just me. That sort of spoiled it a little bit for me. But it's worthy of its place on the long list. So my book of the first half of the month so far, this is totally not me. It's not fiction, it's the memoir. And my book of the first half of the month is The Giant on the Skyline, because I just adored the descriptions of the landscape. I adored this exploration of meaning, this exploration of home. I just thought it was an absolutely stunning book. So that is my book of the first half of the month. So let's see what the second half of May brings. Hopefully I will have finished the women's long list by then. So happy reading. Take care.